This happened in 2006 on Valentine's Day. It was a sunny morning, and I had bought gifts and presents for my girlfriend. We had planned to go hiking that day, and I would surprise her with gifts when we got up there. It was in broad daylight when we got up there. I planned this for quite some time, and I was so excited to finally be able to hand over the gifts I bought for her. Just as I reached into my bag, we heard some noises coming from the bush. We both glanced back and saw someone tall in the shadows. He slowly approached us, and I got a clear view of him. He wore a red beanie, checkered shirt, dark navy jeans, and holding a pistol. He kept inching towards us and yelled out in an aggressive manner, "Give me all your fucking shit." We both started emptying our pockets and placing them on the ground. As I slowly knelt down, placing my belongings on the ground, my girlfriend whispered in my ear,
"Take that rock behind you and smash it against his fucking head while I spray this motherfucker with my pepper spray."
He noticed my girlfriend was saying something, and he walked closer to her and pushed her away from me. In a quick flash, before my brain even comprehended what happened, my girlfriend accidentally tripped when he pushed her and fell down the cliff. My heart sank and I grabbed the rock behind me. The mugger was paralyzed, and I took the advantage and smashed it against his head. He collapsed on the ground, and I quickly looked down at the bottom of the cliff. To my horror, my girlfriend lay there in a pool of blood with her body motionless. My heart broke and I ran down as fast as I could, crying all the way down. Luckily, there were hikers not far away, and one of them was alerted by the sound. He ran towards me with his group of friends. They quickly took us to the nearest hospital, which was still a couple miles away, but it was definitely faster than if I was the only one carrying her. It was a few hours until the doctors told me that she had fallen into a deep coma. I was both happy and depressed. Was this a good thing or a bad thing? She survived, yet she was far from living. The police soon got involved, and I informed them of everything that happened and gave them a good description of the suspect. Days after, he was caught, but my girlfriend was still gone.
I've been living alone for the past few years. I've always thought of dating, but never really had the courage to talk to a woman ever since the death of my wife. She passed away in a car accident on Valentine's Day. She was driving home one night when a drunk lunatic smashed right into the side of her car, T-boning her. When I think of it, it only makes me depressed. I have a young kid. She was only 3 years old when she lost her mother. I care for her, but there is only so much that I can do. Switching between jobs and finding time to take care of her. I really don't know how long I can do this for. The only thing keeping me sane from all of this is the sound of my wife singing to my child at night. I would wake up in the middle of the night only to hear the familiar sounds of my wife singing next door. Whenever I barge into the room, there would be no one there, and my girl would be sleeping just fine. Yet the audible sound of my wife was clear as daylight. It was Valentine's Day when I became so fed up with my marriage and decided to get some drinks at a bar not far from my home. I left my daughter all alone in the house because I thought I would be home just before my wife would get back. I drank a few shots. Before I noticed, my wife had texted me that she was heading home. I quickly got out of the bar with a bottle of Jack Daniels in my hand. I quickly got in my truck and sped home. I only had to go straight a few blocks and turn left. Suddenly, a car came out of nowhere and I ended up ramming it right on the driver's side. Before anyone was able to witness what I had done, I darted back home, thinking that I would be able to get home before my wife gets back. I sat there on the couch, waiting until sunrise. No one came, except the police. Before I knew it, they handcuffed me and my daughter was placed in child services. It was only after I was sober that the police had told me that I killed my own wife instantly.
Hi, I'm Cody. That's what they used to call me. I will miss all my friends that I have known for the past few years. I hope they forgive me. I've done some truly unforgiving things in this world that I am not proud of.
It happened so fast. All the things that I've done flashed before my eyes as I continuously stabbed and hit them. Meat. All I can think of was meat. When one person dies, another one will be born. Why kill animals when you can kill people? The human population always increases regardless, but the animals we eat never have a proper life.
I always found humans to be more desirable than animals. They have such tender meat. It started off with my girlfriend. It was Valentine's Day, and I was planning on cooking for her. I wanted to impress her with my cooking, but all she did was complain about how the meat tasted terrible, and how we couldn't just eat at a fancy restaurant. That's when I snapped. I was never angry at her, but I do not know what came over me. The sudden urge and feeling that took over me, as if I turned into a new person.
After she kept complaining on how terrible my cooking was, and how raw the meat tasted, I began yelling at her and saying vulgar things. She continued yelling back at me while stuffing her mouth with my disgusting food. At this point, I turned towards her and told her to shut her mouth, or else.
She still continued yelling back at me, and at this moment I could not take it anymore, so I slapped her and instantly knocked her out. The food from her mouth went flying towards the wall. She fell face flat on the kitchen floor. I tied her hands to the chair she was sitting on, and then I chopped one of her legs off. She didn't wake up until a few hours later, when I had finished preparing her final meal.
She woke up in agonizing pain and began yelling all over again. I took some of the food and shoved it in her mouth. I asked her if this time the food tasted any better, with a grimacing smile. She kept spitting it out, which made me even more angry. I then started eating in front of her. She kept crying and wailing in pain. I wanted to end her pathetic excuse for a life, and so I ended it right then and there.